Well, I like very much the concept of inspiring women because it's about breaking social stereotypes based on gender. We are all consciously or unconsciously influenced by social stereotypes. People may say, well, you're a girl, you don't have to study that hard. Or you're a girl, it's natural you're not good at math. Well, those are social myths or stereotypes that we need to break. Otherwise, it would limit the potentials of all these talented individuals and talented boys and girls. As I say, in a society, we do have some glass ceilings and we can work together to break that. But also there are some invisible barriers, or in Chinese we call 门槛, that you can ask why not. So the title of today's sharing with these students is Why Not? Wow, in many, many ways. I grew up as a single child of the family, and I think the very best lesson that my parents taught me was that being a girl or a boy, you have to be self-sufficient. You have to have your independent thinking, 有主见, and you have independent ways of earning your life, have your own footing in the society. So education can give you that. Later on, I realized the fundamental or the most valuable contribution of education is to make you a more holistic person. Because we are all living in this world with all sorts of limitations and with all sorts of temptations and challenges. But having education is about having the capability to learn, having the capability to form your own opinions, no matter how noisy the surroundings are. Mr. Hu Shi, who is a pioneer of Chinese modern education, once said that education is not a beautiful piece of clothes which will make you look good, but rather it's a pair of glass make you see the world better. So I think it's about self-recognition, self-awareness, but also about the cognition, understanding of the world, and be able to seek your own way. Lifelong learning is not only a great fun, but also it's a vital surviving skill that every individual needs to master now. I find out that women learn in a few kind of distinctive ways, sometimes different from men's behavior patterns. One is that they have more holistic view about what knowledge is. The relationship management, our emotional well-beings, how to raise a child. They're all part of knowledge that we need to learn. Secondly, we have different skill sets or mindset along our life. Once we are married or having children, our mindset and skill sets can be quite different. So there are different phases of learning. Well, it has changed a lot. When I was studying in the US for my postgraduate studies in the mid-1990s, people in such a city as New York knew very little about China. They thought, we are peasants working in the rice paddles and wearing those straw hats and didn't have a television, because when I shared my story in class, saying that I had hundreds of millions of audience, they were all astonished. They didn't know that Chinese people could afford television set at that time. And of course, during the past 2 decades or so, that image has been, or stereotype has been greatly shattered because people have so many opportunities to know a real Chinese individual in their neighborhood, or see the news about all different aspects of China. So I think for China, keeping open to the world and be a part of the world is very, very important. So I cherish the One Belt, One Road initiatives to let more people to have the opportunity to work with Chinese directly. And I also cherish all sorts of educational exchange programs between China and the world. I think one of the big differences is that nowadays there are more and more overseas students or foreign students coming to study and stay and work in China, and they bring out a much vivid and lively image of Chinese people's life to the world. So I think I'm a believer in openness, exchanges, people-to-people contacts, and I think every individual is ambassador in a way.